One of our tank platoons has been ordered to make a reconnaissance before we attack. But this stretch of road is under fire. Not much chance of getting through. The tank platoon leader checks his overlay and map to select an alternate route, which will permit him to avoid this enemy fire. According to his overlay, there is a minefield on the right side of the road just ahead. So the tank platoon leader moves to the left of the road where there is a clear route. That is, where the map overlay shows a clear route. Accurate minefield information can prevent loss of time, equipment, and lives. But a mistake was made in recording this friendly minefield. When a commander decides to install a minefield, he reports his intention to lay the minefield to higher headquarters. This report of intention contains as much information about the proposed minefield as is then available. Reports may be oral or written, and may be made by radio, telephone, or messenger. At the minefield location, work soon begins. A second report is forwarded from the officer or non-commissioned officer in charge when the mine laying begins to his own headquarters or the one directing the field to be laid. In addition to the several reports which are made, an accurate minefield record is made by the recording party. The recording party is made up of a non-commissioned officer and 2 enlisted men. The recorder uses the standard minefield record form. Instructions for filling out the form are printed on the back. On the front of the form, the top half is for details of the location and makeup of the minefield. The bottom half is for a sketch of the minefield, with arrows showing the direction of the enemy and magnetic north. The recorder can fill in the heading of the form immediately, the name of the mine-laying unit, here Company B, 91st Engineer Combat Battalion, and the name and rank of the officer in charge. The minefield number shows the laying unit and the number of fields it has installed. Here, B Company of the 91st Engineers is installing its 32nd field. The officer in charge chooses the landmarks which will locate the field, in this case the corner of a bunker and a road junction. The NCO looks up the map coordinates of these landmarks so their location and description can be recorded on the form. Because the distance from the bunker to the right rear boundary stake is more than 200 paces, an intermediate marker is set up at a distance of at least 75 paces from the boundary stake. Next, the NCO takes a compass reading from the bunker to the intermediate marker and paces the distance between them. At the intermediate marker, he takes a new compass reading to the right rear boundary stake and also paces this distance. With this information, the recorder can establish the boundaries on his sketch. He draws in the lines on the lower half of the form and writes in the compass readings and distances in paces. He also draws the terrain features, such as roads, hills, towns, woods, or rivers. The next steps are to determine the location of the marking fence and the lanes which cut through the minefield. When the mines are installed, the total number of mines which have been used is determined. This information completes the minimum record with the top of the form showing the heading, the landmarks, the intermediate markers, the lanes, the total number of mines, and the map reference. The sketch on the lower half of the form shows the landmarks, prominent terrain features, marking fence, the length and width of the field, lanes, the direction of the enemy and magnetic north, and the scale of the sketch. This minimum record is made out for every minefield. The commander authorizing the field, however, may order a maximum record to be made. In this event, additional information will be recorded. The center lines of the mine strips are to be shown on the maximum record sketch. So the NCO takes compass readings and paces off the distances along the tapes marking the center lines. Meanwhile, the third member of the recording party talks to the NCO in charge of each mine strip and learns from him the number and types of mines in each strip. This information is recorded on the minefield record. The compass readings and distances along the strip center lines and between each strip on the boundaries are shown on the sketch. On the top half of the form, under the headings anti-tank and anti-personnel mines, are shown the number and types of mines in each strip. Other items, such as the composition of the clusters and the location of booby-trapped mines and tripwires, can be entered under the heading Notes. With this additional information, this minefield record is called a maximum record. When finished, all records are automatically classified secret. The officer in charge, who has been constantly watching the progress, now gives the record a final check for accuracy. Then he enters the time of completion, signs it, and sends it to unit headquarters where it will be forwarded. This record, combined with aerial photographs, will give commanders the information they need for successful operations. The officer in charge also makes a report of completion to his headquarters, giving full information about the completed field. When changes are made in a minefield, such as this new vehicle lane, a new record is made out, including the changes which were made. This record is marked revised. At the same time, the officer in charge makes a report of change, which is forwarded on to higher headquarters. When a new unit moves up to relieve the unit which installed the minefield may be transferred to the new unit. A written report of transfer is signed by both the relieved and relieving unit commanders. Copies of the report are forwarded to the next higher headquarters of each unit. This then is the information which you will need to get back to headquarters on any minefield. First, prompt reports giving as much information as you have about the progress of the minefield installation. These must include a report of intention to lay the minefield, a report of initiation when you begin to lay the minefield, a report of completion when you have the minefield installed, a report of change if alterations are made in the field, and a written report of transfer if another unit takes charge of the field. Progress reports may be required as the minefield is developed. In addition, a written record is made on the standard form. It may be either a minimum record or a maximum record, according to the needs of the commander. An accurate record will help you later on if you have to pick up the minefield, and it will be an insurance of safety to our own troops.